Hello and welcome. This is Eagle Eye 621, and today we are back in my duping world. As you can see behind me, we have my massive carpet duper as well as the rail duper, both of which are capable of producing well over 1,000,000 items per hour. What we are doing here today is decidedly much smaller and much more simple, and that is a very easy sand duper. This is so simple, it only requires one block to make it work. And this will work with some additional gravity blocks, those being gravel and the various concrete powders. So let's take a look at what this one special block is that we need to make this dupe work. That's hiding in this chest right here, and it is a fence. Just one fence. Now you are going to want a couple of blocks just to help you set this up in the beginning, but ultimately you can actually do everything with the one fence, and this is your duplicating block, and it works with all of these various gravity blocks, that being the sand, the red sand, the gravel, and all of the different concrete powders. This does not work with anvils, it doesn't work with dragon eggs or scaffolding. If I missed any of the gravity blocks, I apologize. Just leave a comment and I will tell you. Before I show you how to do this, let me just say that most of you are still not subscribed. It really helped me out a lot if you would take a moment to find that button and click it, as well as ring that bell, and that way you will be notified of all the future videos just like this. So now, this is very helpful if you have already defeated the dragon. If not, this may cause you a couple of problems. And here I have just a couple of command blocks just to teleport me around. You can see there's nothing fishy, it's just a teleport command. So let's go to an end portal. And here we are. As you can see, I've already put in all of the Eyes of Ender in order to activate it. I am in peaceful mode right now, just so this guy doesn't annoy us, but that doesn't change the duplication effect. And then I've added just a little bit of light to make it easier for you to see. Otherwise, this room is unchanged, besides a little bit of a skylight that I added, and you'll see that in a moment. So what you're going to want to do when you come here is you're going to grab your other blocks and you're going to fill in this lava. You can also scoop it up, whatever you want, just make sure the lava goes away. And then you're going to put this fence right there underneath the portal. Now you can't see it because it's from underneath, but it is still there. And even if the blocks are not here, you just want to make sure it is at that height, just underneath these portal blocks. You do need to make sure that you remove the lava, or else it will burn your fence, and otherwise this is less effective. So you can do this in a couple of ways, and I will show you a couple different ways and explain some survival techniques as well that'll make it a little bit easier. But we have some of those blocks, so let's grab the sand, because that is the block that I first said. And what we're going to do is we're going to put the sand right there on top of where the fence is. So the fence is right there in the middle. As you can see, this is right in the middle, and we are going to make a nice sized tower out of sand. And let's go all the way up, and I already have a little marker up here just to make things easier, and this is the 64th block, as you can see, just to have a nice little marker. Let's jump all the way back down. If you're in survival, don't do that. Add some water, something else to make sure you don't die from the impact, and then all you have to do is break this block. And you can see that some of the blocks are turning into items if the YouTube compression allows that. And let's destroy everything I have in my inventory, so my inventory is completely empty. And let's jump in and see what happened. So we have some sand on the ground, and let's collect that. And you may notice that we have my original stack of sand. We also have 37 additional sand, plus the 2 right here would be 39. And in creative mode, when you break a block, it does not drop as an entity. So you can almost think of that as 40 additional blocks, just like that. Now, in case you thought there was some shenanigans, there's stuff here already that I didn't show you. we have another teleport block. Again, nothing fancy, just to make this a little bit faster. I'm going to jump back into the overworld, and then another teleport block. Again, no tricks, to get us back to the portal. And let's get rid of the sand, and let's do this with the gravel. Let's do the same thing real quick. Going to put the sand in the middle. We're going to make a nice tower all the way up. Going to get to that same marker block just so you can see the consistency. Right there. Jump back down and destroy that. And let's get rid of all the items that were in my hand. Watch for all of the gravel to fall down. And then jump in after it. And let's collect all of the items on the ground. And you may notice again, we have the original stack as well as some duplicated gravel. And this is real, it's not a visual glitch of any kind. So I picked it up in the entity form, plus these, plus the one that I destroyed. Very consistent. Now, there are a couple of ways to speed this up. As I understand, you're most likely doing this from survival. If you were in creative mode, you would just give yourself a give command. So let's talk about a couple of optimizations, and there are a few. And the easiest one is to just grab another fence and put it under another block, just like that. Let's get rid of the fence, and let's grab some colors this time. Let's have some lime green and some light blue. And we'll put the blue in the middle. Oh, whoops. The dangers of working with portals is one wrong step and you're going through a whole loop. Let's try that again. As you can see, we have our fence in the center and one closest. So let's put our green down right here. Let's go all the way up till we get to our marker block. And let's drop back down and use the blue next to it. Also going all the way up. And even, as you saw. Right back down. And let's destroy the bottom of both of those. You can see that both of them are turning into entities as well as falling through. That's what this trick does rely on, is that turning into an entity at the same time as falling through a portal. So let's jump in. Again, nothing in the inventory. And this time, you can see that we have the 64 from both of them, as well as 38, because one of each of them is in here, and normally you'd have two of the same color from the same row. So you can do multiple lines together. That is one little optimization trick. Let me show you another trick that you can do. Let's go back around again. And let's pick some new colors this time as well. Let's go for some cyan and some red. Now this time what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this one, just so you can see we're using the one fence again. And we're going to put some blue down. And we're going to go all the way up. You'll have to forgive that one that fell off the side. But as there's no fence underneath that, it doesn't matter. And all the way up to our marker block. Jump back down. We're going to destroy that now. And get rid of that color. And as soon as that's done falling, we're going to start adding some red. So now let's go all the way up. Now I did not jump through the portal to collect the other one that just went through. Let's also give this one to the same height marker. And destroy that. And while that's going, we can delete all of those items. And now that they've fallen through, we can jump in after them and go around and collect them. And you will notice that we do have the 64 from both, as well as 39 extra. The duplication does some weird things. This time we ended up with an extra concrete powder of the cyan variety as opposed to the red. But again, this is generally very consistent, other than the two that do appear actually in the block form right here in the center. So you can see you can drop multiple lines before chasing in after them, and that is not a problem. But I do have one last little tip to make this even just that much easier in your survival world, as without these teleporting blocks it can be a long way to travel to find the portal to go to the end, to get back to the overworld and in that giant loop. So let's delete those, and let's grab a sea lantern just as a marker block here, and we're going to put it going up 1. In fact, I will use some other colors so you can see that the fence is in the middle and this one is on the edge. And for this, we're just going to stand here and not tower, because towering can be detrimental to your life if you make a mistake. Let's grab the red sand for this one, and then a light gray as well. So what we're going to do is a much smaller test of just dropping some items through so you can see. So we're going to have the one above. So there's an air block, and then you have your sand, and we're just going to drop a couple. So let's drop 16 of these. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I know this is that riveting YouTube content you've all signed up for. And let's go up 1. Let's do another 16. This is counting with eagle eye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. And remember that our red sand was 1 above, which means we do have an air gap, and the gray was 2 above. And then let's see what happens when we jump in now. And as you can see, nothing special. We still have the 16. We did not get any duplications, and that's because of the speed of these items falling. But now let's go back. Let's do another loop, and let's see what happens if instead we decide to go up a bunch further. So let's grab some new blocks, and let's take some purple this time, and also some pink. And now let's go up just a bit higher, and that is the 3 air blocks. So let's do another 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. And then pink up one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Some impressive counting, right? Purple, and then pink. Let's see what happens with that one. And again, nothing. But now, let's do one more loop around and see what happens if we just go up that one additional block, and that is with some black. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. And this is with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 air blocks underneath. All of a sudden, we have more than we started with. Now we have 31 when I only dropped in 16, plus this concrete right here would be 32. So if you are in survival and you don't want to have to do this loop every single time that you go around, then you can set up a system where you drop the blocks without making huge towers. And how about some of this green action? You set yourself up on a little platform. You can even go AFK if you give yourself a little machine to keep refilling your hand, or you can just do this manually. And you can just sit here and keep dropping the concrete. I'm not going to count this time because instead I want to use it to give a shout out to Zoom Strike. Now, Zoom Strike, as far as I know, was the first person to show this, and he showed that it worked with the tower. Did a little bit of experimenting to show a couple of other ways to do this with the dropping technique, as well as just doing some testing on the consistencies and demo. But do be sure to head over to his channel. I will link the video below, and subscribe to him as well as drop those likes. And then when you're completely out of items in your survival world, you can jump back in, collect all of those items that you just had. Survival is going to take you a lot longer. Go back to the overworld, go back to the portal room, and use all of those items in order to, again, just make as many as you need. Again, sand, red sand, gravel, and all of the various different types of concrete powders. And you're doing all of this duplication with a simple fence. Now, I will tell you that this will also work with some other blocks, those being a wall or even a bottom half slab, although the bottom half slab doesn't seem to produce as much as the fence and the wall does. The idea is it's something that breaks the gravity block. It breaks the sand into an entity at the same time it does fall in. So when you're done, you can take this all back down. You can jump in after your items, collect everything you need, and then clean this up. And around you go until you have all of the items you need, and you can bring them back to your main base for whatever their intended purpose was. If you found this video helpful, I would appreciate a like. Found it interesting, maybe even share it with one of your friends. And for more videos like this, do be sure to subscribe. Now, YouTube has also given me a join button. It's YouTube's equivalent to Patreon. So if you're interested in supporting me in that way, it would be greatly appreciated as well. Thanks for stopping by.